Hi everyone, back from Europe. I realized that my website was still not working properly, so I could not post my ideas about the eclipse. Yeah, today, October 2nd, 2024, we have a solar eclipse, and it's important. It's a full reset. So we just had a few days to breathe and recover from the September lunar eclipse. And boom, here we go again. September was quite intense as it was the ultimate closure of all the system. Um, I'm speaking about the system that was meant to dominate the world through secret societies, and especially all the parts that was built after the 18th century with the advent of the, um, the Illuminati under the responsibility of Adam Weishaupt, and then the taken over of all the lodges, enabled by, among others, Cagliostro. So we went very far back in history, and there is much more to say, but that will come later. So we are looking at the nodal axis. There is a change coming soon, and we have a kind of a taste of it because the North Node is still in Aries, but we have an eclipse in Pisces. The nodal axis opposition of the lunar nodes moved in Aries Libra in 2023 and will continue through those two signs until early 25. In 25, the nodal axis will move into Pisces Virgo. But we still will have one more eclipse in Aries on March 9th, 2025. So weirdly in September, with North Node still in Aries, we had a taste of an eclipse in Pisces. Wait a second here. So yes, the eclipse in September was at 25 Pisces, and now the solar eclipse on October 2nd, today, is in the opposite sign where the south node is in Libra. So the meaning of the incursion in Pisces is last call to recover and express our raw essence as the energy of Aries is asking us to do. We still have to clean up whatever the eclipse is going to point out in our own map or astrological chart. At the collective level, humankind faced again the responsibilities created by the geopolitical system that was based on the values of the Capricorn. So the axis Cancer Capricorn, the axis of initiation, with a dominant patriarchal energy, the need to move towards success, personal achievement, a government with structures that are more dominant. So all this is reviewed again as implied by Pluto being retrograde again in Capricorn. A note from Astrology Answers. There is one very odd quirk about the Pisces Virgo eclipse. There will be only Pisces lunar eclipses, no Pisces solar eclipses. Usually a sign gets at least one of each, but this go round, that won't be the case. In fact, there is only one solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse is very lunar eclipse heavy. Okay, so the solar eclipse October 2nd is at 10 degrees Libra. Libra is the house of relationships, partnership. Although the ruler is Venus, let's not confuse romantic love with the love expressed by Venus. We are not just speaking about couples, we are speaking about partners, deals. Libra is also represents the scales. So we are connecting with the scale of justice, eventually divine justice and judgment. This is a moment where collectively we reconnect with the North, with the axis, the general axis of the planet, and the North being the area where the gods are supposed to live. So it is our opportunity to reconnect with our presence and to align ourselves with the divine plan and what is going on at the planetary level, instead of just being aware of what is happening in our literal 3D life. Interestingly, Thoth Hermes, that is present in all judgment scenes in ancient Egypt and as represented under the traits of the Archangel Michael in the churches, Thoth Hermes or Mercury conjuncts the sun during the eclipse. In the last 2 years, with the North node in Aries, we have practiced assertiveness, self-power, independence. How do we balance that with our need to relate with others? That's the Libra. And to love, as Venus rules Libra. The question that is very important at this time is, what is love truly? The eclipse being conjunct Mercury, our brain will intervene in our choices. Love and partners are quite desirable, yet we are advised to balance giving and receiving. Aries dictates us to stand for ourselves. Libra loves, yet keeps the scales in the right position. So, how much have we given up? Things that would be more important for us. How much have we not expressed our truth under the pretext that we love others or that we are in partnership with whoever or with a group? And how much are we ready to discover about ourselves and about others to adjust the way we relate and to adjust the functioning of our world? The last eclipse was conjunct Neptune, illuminating our desire to be open to divine love. Neptune is connected to, when it's no more the illusion, to the capacity to love unconditionally. So how do we balance this unconditional inner feeling that we do have with what our analyzing brain might tell us? We know that sometimes we dearly love people, we dearly love our family, and yet we know that things are not okay. So, how can we readjust? Not in judgment, but reasonably, so that we still respect not only ourselves, but the mission of our soul. For the solar eclipse of October 2nd, Neptune is opposite the eclipse that is happening in the vicinity of the South Node. Therefore, the eclipse happening next to the South Node is connecting us to the remains and residues from the past. So we need to have a look. Is love blinding us? Is it love or is it weakness? The question is increased by the position of Mars. Mars is square the eclipse. Mars being also at 45 degrees from Uranus, the mandatory letting go. How should we act, Mars, without falling into the impulsivity of the warrior? How can we adjust our thinking, maybe our anger, with the energy of Venus and thinking correctly? Let's be aware of the risk of miscommunication. Mars square Mercury. Mars in Cancer is in a difficult position because Cancer asks for emotional security. What is great in this eclipse is that Mars is part of a grand trine, means a triangle with three equal sides. And the grand trine sits in water signs with Venus and Saturn, balancing the impulsivity of Mars, bringing love and wisdom. Saturn is wisdom. So this comes into the equation. How do we function, Mars, with love and with the lessons of the past, Saturn? And this solar eclipse is activated by the south node, sorry. We are warned about relationships from the past that no longer serve the best purpose. Especially, this is something that I've been thinking about, the position of Lilith. Yeah, we will talk about it later. It means that this is a very strange moment where the sun is already in the shadow and we are confronted to the queen of the night. We'll go back to it. Uranus, the agent of change, is trine, which means 120 degrees from Pluto. We are therefore encouraged to move on, to support the transmutation of the system and of our soul. No more time to look backward. No more time to linger in the past. Relationships and partnerships, deals, arrangement with people can only survive if all underlying toxicity is acknowledged and cleansed. The grand trine Saturn, Mars, Venus is the best configuration to practice balance and love building. With the input of Mercury, improved communication and or awareness are added to the mix. So very interestingly, I posted that on the website on September 30th. And then on October 1st, we have the news in coming out, and I'm reading aljazeera.com. This was October 1st. Israel war on Gaza, Lebanon live. Iran fires ballistic missiles at Israel. We know today that Israel has responded. Iran and Israel were on the verge of war and are now on war. So 200 missiles fired, etc. So the situation is coming to a peak. And the interesting coincidence, Saros, the Saros 144, to which the October 2nd eclipse belongs, had its last step in 2006. Okay, I'm going to repeat. Each eclipse belongs to a Saros, so a family of eclipses, and they are all related, pointing out a special purpose, a special energy. So when you look at an eclipse, you have to look at the Saros, the family to which it belongs. And you will know what happened before in your life or what events or part of your life was touched when an eclipse from the same series happened. So October 2nd is related to the eclipses of 2006. Well, 2006 was the war Israel Lebanon. Yes. So it's like unfinished business coming back again. We have to notice that in 2006, Israel miscalculated the consequence of an attack. Now we'll see what will happen. So another weird coincidence, Trump uses and publishes the Archangel Michael prayer. I have no idea how to explain that, but this happening just at the time of such an important eclipse, we need to make note. And finally, the most important part, I've been looking at it because of the position of Lilith and Chiron in my personal charts. And then I discovered that there is a fantastic video about it by Molly McCord. She's always giving very grounded, detailed, and special reports. So Lilith is conjunct the eclipse. I'm going to give you a link to her video. Lilith is the darkest, it's the black moon. Okay, it's the darkest moon and the darkest area in the sky. Lilith is the woman who takes her power, the woman who refuse to, or the feminine archetype, refusing to lose her power in front of the male energy, but it's also the dark aspect of the soul. Lilith engenders demons. Okay. So we are asked to look at the deepest corners of our soul, of our past lives, and face things that maybe we didn't want to face. Face all the relationships that we have created and kept throughout this cycle of fall into darkness. And we need to make sure that we will excavate on that, pay the price, our responsibilities, and change. So I invite you to watch the video that is connected at the bottom of my video. Have a great time and use this eclipse to make a shift. This is your time for reset.